you so much for joining us for today's webinar. Our endeavor is to spread awareness about rabies, which is fatal but can be avoided once appropriately vaccinated. So this is an initiative from Cadila Pharma through this innovation to serve the society and humankind. So sir, the today's webinar topic is dosage reduction strategy in rabies management and role of novel vaccines. Dear Dr. ThRabis is the world's first novel 3-dose anti-rabies vaccine. Will with great pride, we would like to inform you that ThRabis has successfully completed 1 year of his launch with more than 40% animal bite victims being vaccinated. 100% compliance was recorded and no case of ADRs was registered. So with this, sir, it's my honor to introduce to our speaker, Dr. Durga Madhav Satpathy Star, Professor Community Medicine, MKCG Medical College, sir, to chair this person and speaker of the today's webinar, sir. Sir, now I would like to request Dr. Durga sir to initiate the talk, and later on we have a question and answer session, sir. All the participants can drop their questions in the drop box and we'll read out all the questions after the presentation. Thank you, sir. So, sir, I'm requesting you, sir, kindly let us, sir, start from your end, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Satya, and good evening to all the participants, including the makers of the unique BLP technology-based vaccine, that is Cadila. And yes, as highlighted, we will be speaking about an important viral zoonotic disease which has been there since ancient times. And in fact, the word rabies has been described in the Rig Vedas as rabas, that is to be furious or to behave abnormally. So this is not a new zoonotic disease to be discovered, but an ancient disease. But still, this is the only disease which is 100% fatal. And here the fatality is such that yes, I do agree that in some viral diseases, though ultimately death may occur, or other diseases death may occur, but it can be extended, the palliative care can be there and the life can be extended. But here, once a case is diagnosed as rabies, in the even in clinical rabies, it is written on the prescription. It means that the physician has written the death certificate of that poor fellow. So that is about rabies, the importance. And still we are facing, India is an endemic country for rabies disease. And we have a huge population of both stray dogs as well as the chances of exposure because of this agricultural mode of income by our population. The chances of contact between animals and human beings is very high. So India is an endemic country on rabies, and we'll be dealing with this disease, how to prevent it in the future. So next, please. We all know that this is the virus, the rhabdovirus, which is typically termed to be a bullet-shaped virus. And this rabies virus belonging to the Rhabdoviridae family, this is the typical structure, bullet-shaped. But one thing is to be taken up here. There are various components. It is an RNA virus, but the envelope which has many proteins, N protein, P protein, M protein. But it is the G protein which is present on the capsule of the rhabdovirus is the most important antigen of the virus, and all the anti-rabies antibodies generated in our body by active immunization is targeted towards this G protein. And if this G protein is destroyed, the virus is definitely killed. So that is the importance why I wanted to show you this picture. We all know this bullet-shaped virus, but I wanted to tell you the importance of this G protein only. This G protein is the most important antigen, and any antibody targeted towards rabies virus antibody, which is targeted towards G protein, can lead to destruction of this virus, and therefore this G protein is important. Next, please. We know that globally, India contributes to nearly 1/3 or more than 1/3 of the deaths due to rabies. Out of 60,000, nearly 20,000 deaths are due to rabies. And yes, if we see the deaths are more in rural areas, naturally, because of maybe lack of accessibility to the rabies biologicals, though at present our government has been trying to give rabies vaccine to each and every, even sub-block level, but or block level, or even we are thinking of providing this vaccine at the CHO level also, Health and Wellness Center. But still, deaths are there. 20,000 deaths is a quite high figure, and the reason being that, as I said, the dog population of our country especially is also quite high. It is said that nearly we can find for 25 Indians there will be a dog. But so for the one dog for 25 Indians. But imagine in the night when you are returning, I think there will be 25 dogs per Indian. So that is the chances we get of high exposure, and that is why there is such a huge burden of deaths due to rabies in our country. Next, please. Yes, rabies is 100% fatal, but yes, as it is written, 100% vaccine preventable disease. Yes, it is preventable, no doubt. But once I used to say just before that, don't change the slide, please. Yeah, let us stick to this slide. Yes, don't assure everyone that you can make it 100% preventable, but don't give the guarantee that it is 100% preventable. Because I was also telling like that previously, rabies is a 100% fatal disease, but 100% preventable. No, don't tell that. We can assure that we can make it 100% preventable. Because suppose the virus is directly injected into a nerve, it has escaped the blood-brain barrier. So it will naturally go and ascend towards the central nervous system. So one thing I want to highlight in this slide to all of you, that yes, speak that rabies is 100% fatal. We have hardly 4 to 5 cases who have recovered from this disease. But in our situation, when we cannot have an ICU at even the district headquarter hospitals and everything, and we don't know the actual treatment, the cocktail anti-rabies antivirals, we don't know. It is still in a process of discovery, and they are trying to make a cocktail of antivirals. But so we cannot say that it is, we can say that it is 100% fatal. But one thing, we can make it 100% preventable. Right? So that is the reason why I wanted to stick to this slide. Next, thank you. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, one thing which has to be highlighted before coming to the vaccines, the tripod, the 3 pillars of anti-rabies treatment are first, primary care of the wound, wherein one has to, after an infliction of animal bite wound on the body, we have to gently but thoroughly wash it with soap and water for 10 minutes. Then we have to apply some virucidals over that wound, like povidone or 70% alcohol, which are virucidal in nature. That is the first thing. Second is passive immunization. The use of passive immunization because we know that any vaccine to work has to go through a process of producing, not seroconverting, but producing antibodies. And here, the seroprotective level of antibodies to be achieved after the active immunization is should be at least 0.5 international units per ml. So, to achieve that level of antibodies, naturally, we know the immunological process that there is a lag phase, then there is a log phase, then there is a plateau phase. This is the process by which antibodies develop in our body. And to develop seroprotective level of antibodies and go to the lag phase, log phase, it takes about 10 to 14 days. And though we have been administering vaccines from day 0, but for 14 days, we do not have seroprotective antibodies. Seroprotective antibodies appear in our body after 10 days. So for these 10 days, we have to use passive immunization. It can be equine rabies immunoglobulin. It can be human rabies immunoglobulin. It can be single monoclonal antibodies, anti-rabies antibodies, or it can be a cocktail of 2 monoclonal antibodies. But whatever the thing is, whatever the use of passive immunization one has to do, that is, all are quite effective. But one thing is, if it is a category 3 bite, that is the bite with oozing of blood, which indicates a transdermal bite, then first step, thorough washing with soap and water with application of virucidal topical. Second, passive immunization. Third comes the active immunization process, because this process, active immunization, stays long in our body and it can overcome whatever the incubation period may be. So, third pillar of the anti-rabies modality of treatment is rabies vaccine. And we know that we have evolved since, of course, I would have liked to go my head before beginning this talk to the legend, Sir Louis Pasteur, who first developed the rabies vaccine, anti-rabies vaccine, and he used it on 6th of July on a boy named Joseph Meister, who had been bitten by a suspected rabies dog. And from that day onwards, we are trying to conquer about this fatal disease. So this vaccine which was developed, it was a live attenuated virus passed through various cell cultures. Now, no live attenuated virus is being recommended by WHO. So then we came to the inactivated vaccine, and the first one was the simple vaccine or the brain tissue, nerve tissue vaccine, the NTV. But however, it still contained nearly 10%. How much of purification has to be done? But some myelin contents used to stay in that vaccine, nearly 10%. And because of its low immunogenicity, a large amount of dose has to be given. It is written 0.5 ml daily, actually 5 ml daily, not 0.5 ml. It is 5 ml or 2 ml. It was given before 2004. Now this we have kept it in our museum only to show our medical students that this was one of the vaccines. Now it is not available from 2004 in our country. Our WHO has banned the use of nerve tissue vaccine, and India has stopped the use of nerve tissue vaccine since 2004. So it is actually 5 ml which has to be given, or 2 ml, depending on the category. That is not a category of bite, that was class of bite. Class 1, class 2, class 3. Now we are all having WHO's categorization of bite, that is category 1, category 2, and category 3. But this vaccine was the next, that is the killed or inactivated nerve tissue vaccine. I think we have, please to the previous slide, please. After that, we developed the cell culture vaccines. And these cell culture vaccines were initially developed on human diploid cells. Then we developed it in purified chick embryo fibroblast cells, PCEC vaccine. Then we developed in purified cells, and we got PVRV. These cell culture vaccines were there, where the virus was grown on the cell cultures on these particular cells, either varicocele or PCEC or SDCB, and then they were phenol inactivated and freeze dried. So it is an inactivated vaccine, freeze dried, and has to be diluted with its diluent, because it is inactivated and lyophilized vaccine available in the form of the powder. We have to dilute it with its diluent, and after that we have to inject it. And it was given. It is given. There are they have written here 5 injections. This is the SN regime. SN regime is the IM regime, which has been approved by our Indian Pharmacopoeia, and the Drug Control of General of India has approved the SN regime, not the JAGREB, which is another type of IM regime. This SN regime has been approved, and 5 injections to be given, 0, 3, 7, 14, and 28 days. And ideally, the day 0 should be the day of bite, and then the next day becomes day 1. So don't take day 0 as day 1, also day 0 and day 1 to be 1. The day when you have injected the first injection becomes the day 0, then you calculate the subsequent day 0, 3, 7, 14, or 28. So this is about how the vaccines have evolved in on rabies. Next, please. Now we can go to the next. Thank you. Thank you. So usually all the rabies vaccines available are cell culture vaccines, which I have said. It could be we do not have a human deployed cell vaccine available in the Indian context. It is not available, but the other cell culture vaccines which are available, either the purified chick embryo fibroblast cell culture or the purified varicocele culture vaccine. So these are the cell culture vaccines which are available, and they are available for more than 50 years, and but it has to be given on 0, 3, 7, 14, and 28. That is 5 doses has to be given in the IM schedule. So this is about the total. They are at times they become short supply because of the huge demand by the public health sector. And yes, beyond 5 injections, we can for 5 injections up to a month it takes. So there is a question of compliance also when we are using cell culture vaccine, because after 037, after a week, the next comes after 1 week, the third comes after 2 weeks of the second, day 14. So there is a question of compliance of taking the full course against this, but one has to take the full course against this 100% fatality risk. If the full course is not taken, then we cannot do anything. So yes, there is a question of compliance also. So this is about the cell culture vaccines. Next, please. Next, please. So decreased compliance is there. As it is written, 4 injections. 4 injections, especially in the public health sector, when the cell culture vaccines are now being used in the intradermal route, where on 2 sites, day 0, 2 sites, day 3, 2 sites, day 7, 2 sites, day 14, no site. That is no injection on day 14. And the last day 28 is also on the 2 sites. So 4 injections, if the cell culture vaccine has to be taken on intradermal route, which is in the public, available in the public health facilities, at even the CSCs or sub-regional hospitals, or in the headquarter hospitals, and even in medical college, all the government colleges, government public health facilities are catering to this intradermal route, which has 4 injections, 0, 3, 7, and 28. But as I told you, for the intramuscular, that is the SN regime, which is being used in the other private sector or in the clinics, it is 5 injections, 0, 3, 7, 14, 28. Whatever it is, 0 and 28 remains constant. So it takes nearly 4 weeks to complete the entire course of active immunization process if we are using the cell culture vaccines. May it be intradermal, 0 and 28 are the first and last. If it is IM, again 0 and 28 are first and last. So 4 weeks are necessary to complete the full course of injection. And we know it at times, if we have not explained properly to the importance of taking the vaccine to our client, he may think, we have taken 3 injections, it is enough. Again, who remembers after 1 week and again after 2 weeks later than that? So yes, compliance is one of the issues of this either intradermal or the SN regime IM for the cell culture vaccines. Next, please. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. We can go, yeah, thank you. For this reason, when the total process of taking all the doses, the compliance became a question mark. We have to do other thinkings about other processes by which we have to reduce the dose, the duration of the treatment, and to increase the compliance, to complete it within a week. That was the unmet need. And we are fortunate that Cadila Pharmaceuticals have tried to come out with a novel vaccine which has a simple but and shorter regimen. What is the regimen and what is that vaccine? I will be speaking in subsequent slides, but we are fortunate about this. Now, this vaccine, which is available and manufactured by Cadila, which is a novel or unique vaccine which is there and available for the, not only available, but used in our country for more than 1 year by now. Now, this vaccine is termed as known as ThRabis. Now, ThRabis, what is ThRabis? This is the first protein subunit anti-rabies vaccine, right? First protein subunit vaccine against rabies. You see, subunit protein vaccines are not new to us. Your hepatitis B vaccine is also a subunit vaccine. Influenza vaccines are also subunit vaccines, right? So subunit protein viral vaccines are not new, unique, but this is the first subunit protein vaccines against rabies. So we need not think that this is a new something new type of vaccine. No, subunit vaccines are there. We have faith on subunit protein vaccine, but this is the first subunit protein vaccines against rabies which is available. It is prepared by the VLP platform technology. What we mean by VLP, that is a virus-like particle. That is what we mean by VLP, virus-like particle. What is a virus-like particle? I will be showing you in the next slide. But this is just a virus-like particle and the subunit protein vaccine, and only 3 doses, that is within a week, the total course of active immunization is complete against rabies. So definitely it will have a better compliance. This Sunday, there is a bite. By next Sunday, the course is over. The patient is free to go wherever or on his job or whatever is there. So it is a very short duration, only 1 week, the vaccine course is complete. And another unique point of this is, this is not a lyophilized vaccines, unlike the cell culture vaccines, because we know subunit protein vaccines are usually available in the form of liquid. Take for example hepatitis B vaccine, it is available in the form of a liquid only. Likewise, this subunit protein vaccine, which is based on the platform of virus-like particle against rabies, is available in a liquid form, so there is no need to reconstitute. Simply open it, draw it, injected. That's it. And 3 doses, 037, the entire course is complete. The compliance becomes better. Now, as I said, this subunit vaccine is not new. You all know what is subunit vaccine. The only thing is I want to highlight now is the VLP. I told you VLP stands for virus-like particle. So this virus-like particle, what is that? You see, this is what we mean by a virus-like particle. This is the first one on the lower left-hand lower corner is the virus, rabies virus. I said it is on a cross-sectional view. Otherwise, we had seen it how it was bullet shaped in the first slide. So this is the native virus of rabies containing the G proteins, the genome, RNA, and the capsule are surrounded. Now, these spikes which are there, these are the G proteins. It's difficult to stabilize, isolate using from the rabies virus itself. So what is done now? We went to form through nanoparticles a virus-like particles, right? Containing only the G protein like that of the virus. So this becomes a virus-like particle. You can see the last right-hand topmost figure where there is no genetic material in the virus, but it is a virus-like particle. It contains everything. All this VLPs are similar to the native virus particles, but do not contain the viral genome. That is the unique because it is taken up and synthetically manufactured, which is virus-like particles. So therefore, as they do not contain any genome, so naturally they cannot replicate. And but they mimic the viral antigenicity without being pathogenic. Naturally, they cannot be pathogenic because the genome is gone now. So, but however, the structure of the virus is maintained so that antigenicity is maintained. And for this, as this antigenicity is maintained without the genome, they are capable of inducing a strong immune response, both cellular as well as humoral. Both the types of immune response are generated because they have all the structure of the virus containing all its antigens. So these are what we mean by this virus-like particle technique, the platform of this. And here you can see that this VLP as vaccine, which is present at the right-hand top corner, and compared with it the lower top corner of the left hand, you see this is similar to that virus except the genome. So it is equipotent as far as antigenicity is concerned, and therefore it can lead to a strong response both humoral as well as cellular immune response. So this is what we mean by VLP technology, virus-like particles. And next is this technology is a new technology. It is a subunit vaccine, and this is what we have. This VLP technology has been, as I said, VLP technology is not a new concept, but the novelty is the recombinant rabies G protein vaccine. Only the G protein, as I told you, that this G protein of the rabies virus is the most important immunogen antigen of the virus. Any rabies antibodies targeted towards this G protein can destroy the virus immediately. So for this G protein of type of subunit rabies vaccine is also documented. It has been documented after a lot of work, and it has been published in APCRI journal, that is the Association for Prevention and Control of Rabies in India. We have this association, and it is a published fact that this actually is present in the market. Next, please. And before that, I want to highlight one thing, that for the use of rabies vaccine, unlike the COVID vaccine where you have to use it through emergency use authorization process, but for rabies vaccine to develop, it has to go through various phases. So there was a clinical phase 3 trial wherein the doses was also modified on the G protein. In one of these G protein vaccine, it contained only 10 microgram of the antigen. The other, we had 50 microgram of the antigen. And it was given on 037. And we can find here that the seroprotection data is quite effective. Though in and it was compared with another cell culture vaccine, that is the PCEC vaccine, which was available at that time in this brand. And this 10 microgram containing G protein vaccine, 50 microgram containing G protein vaccine, and the PCEC vaccine. A trial had been done where this G protein vaccine was given only on 037 days, 037, and the PCEC vaccine was the comparator, and it was given as per the session regime of 037, 14, 28. All the 5 doses were given intramuscularly, and we can see here that the level of antibodies, say by day 14, all were 100%, and it was maintained up to day 270 with all the comparator vaccine as well as the 50 microgram. 10 microgram, there was a bit less, but 10 microgram 037 was a bit less. 10 microgram 03, only 2 doses, it was also less, but 10 micrograms was a bit less. However, 50 microgram 037, even at the day 270, it has maintained 100% seroprotective level of antibodies, even better than the comparator, that is the PCEC vaccine, which was used on to the SN route, that is 037, 14, and 28. So this is the clinical phase 3 trial which had been conducted in our country. This is our country-specific trial. I am not telling that this trial has been done in some other countries and we are projecting these facts. This has been done in India, and here you can see that the 037 of 50 microgram G protein vaccine has a better antibody, somewhat better antibody, even as compared to the PCEC vaccine, which was given 5 doses, 037, 14, and 28. So this is one of the trials which has been done in the phase 3. Next, please. Next, please. This is the go to the previous one. Please go to the previous one. Yeah, we can see it. As I told you, this trial had been done. The safety and immunogenicity, again, this is also a documented fact. We have the trial was not only done to show anything. It has also been published in Human Vaccines Journal, and I am fortunate to be one of the investigators of this trial, and my name is also there. So I wanted to highlight this, that this ThRabis given 50 microgram 037 compared with the PCEC given by SN regime 037, 14, and 28, the antibodies were tested in the one and only WHO accredited anti-rabies estimating lab at Bangalore. They were all done in a proper manner. The serum was also sent through reverse cold chain. Antibody was estimated in a WHO accredited anti-rabies antibody estimating center, and we have this published in Human Vaccines. So this is what I want to highlight, that these trials have been done in our country, and we have proved that it is effective as well as safe. The safety I will go next in next year. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah, this is the phase 3 to evaluate both the immunogenicity as well as safety of rabies G protein vaccine. It was a randomized comparative controlled multicentric trial. At that time, I was at BSS Medical College, Burla, and I was the investigator at that site along with my colleagues. And we have shown that this vaccine was given to 533 subjects, and the comparator, that is the PCEC vaccine, was given through Eastern regime on 0, 3, 7, 14, and 28, and we had 267 subjects, and it was a multicentric trial. Next, please. Next, please. So the objective was to demonstrate non-inferiority of the test vaccine, that is this D protein vaccine, that is ThRabis, to the comparator vaccine, which I told you it was the PCEC vaccine, the brand, which which is an established vaccine in our country and throughout the globe. So the objective was to prove or demonstrate the non-inferiority of ThRabis against the comparator vaccine. And by day for seroprotection at 14 days post-exposure, to see if it is at least more than 0.5 international units per ml. That is the primary objective, because to be seroprotected, one has to have an antibody titer of 0.5 international units per ml of anti-rabies antibodies. So that is the primary objective. The secondary objective with seroprotection up at day 42 from day 0 of the test vaccine, and also to monitor the adverse effects, if any, and compare it with this rabies and the comparator vaccine. These were the secondary objectives. The seroprotection obtained by the vaccination of rabies compared to the comparator vaccine, that is the primary objective. If they have complete, it is actually fruitful in obtaining seroprotective antibodies, the first one, and at day 14, day 42, as well as the adverse effects, if any, with either ThRabis or with the comparator vaccine. These were the primary and secondary objectives of the phase 3 trial. Next, please. So, as you see, that efficacy is consistent across all ages and genders. Of course, the ages, I would mention here that the ages were all more than 18 years of age, not children. We had not done it in children, but whatever the results were consistent, either with ThRabis or the comparator vaccine, anti-rabies antibody titer was present, and difference of 1.52 was negligible, and it was not statistically significant as far as the antibodies are concerned. As far as safety is concerned, yes, like your local adverse events or systemic adverse events, systemic like fever, ear pain, headache, or local like pain, induration, or swelling. These were also quite few with this ThRabis. The reason being, this is only a protein vaccine, subunit vaccine, and we know subunit vaccines usually do not have any serious side effects. We have been using a subunit vaccine. The first vaccine to get the subunit vaccine by a newborn is hepatitis B. At birth, we are giving a subunit vaccine. So because these subunit vaccines are safe, naturally the adverse effects are very low. And for the information of all, I have been using it for the last 1 year since its launch. And in my clinical practice also, I am yet to see any systemic adverse event. Yes, I had 2 cases of local pain only, and in duration I haven't found in any of the cases, but local pain they said in 2 cases, and systemic side effects I haven't seen as far as ThRabis is concerned. So it was found to be quite safe. Rather, it has less side effects than the currently available PCC or PVRV vaccines which are available. Though they are also having not much of side effects, but it is they are having a bit more side effect because they contain the whole virus. So the side effects, especially the local and systemic, can be expected to be a bit high. But and as this is the only a protein containing subunit vaccine, naturally the side effects will be very low. So this is what we have seen, that is both efficacy wise as well as safety wise, that this ThRabis is quite similar or rather consistent with the comparator vaccine. So this is what we had found out in the clinical trial. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. So the conclusion of that trial which we had done, ThRabis was naturally non-inferior to the reference vaccine because both safety-wise and effectiveness, less adverse effects compared to the reference vaccine, which I said that this being a subunit vaccine, definitely the chances of adverse events will be low. So this 3-dose vaccine, novel 3-dose vaccine ThRabis, which is based on virus-like particle platform, was found to be safe and immunogenic, as compared with the 5-dose SN regime vaccine, which was a cell culture vaccine by also approved by WHO. So this was quite safe and immunogenic, which is the BLP technology-based, platform-based ThRabis vaccine, wherein only 037, that is 3 doses of the vaccine has to be given. So this was the conclusion of that trial. And as I said, next please, it is next please. And it has been published, and they have also received awards on this Pharma Innovation of the Year award by the Economic Times and the Globe, Golden Globe Tigers Award at Malaysia, both nationally as well as internationally. This novel vaccine which was prepared, which has shown its efficacy and safety against rabies. Vaccines available, the comparator being a PCC given on 037, 14 and 28. They have shown that it is good, effective, safe, and they have received the awards also for that. So congratulations to the company. Thank you. Next, please. Next, please. So this was the last slide. I also did not know. So
Sir.
This was what I wanted to highlight today before this August gathering of reputed physicians all over the part of this country. That at present we have a novel subunit G protein vaccine manufactured on VLP technology, and it is safe and effective, and only 3 doses, 037, that is within a week, we can complete the entire course of anti-rabies active immunization process. It is safe, effective, within a week, the entire active immunization process against rabies can be done. So the compliance is quite good. That is what I want to highlight, that apart from, I want to repeat myself, that whenever we are dealing with the case of animal bite, naturally, the 3 pillars have to be taken care of. Local care of the wound, passive immunization, and the third is active immunization. Active immunization, it takes minimum 4 doses in government setups or 5 doses, and the duration is about for a month. But here, the active immunization process is complete within a week. So compliance will be better. The visits of the patients to our clinics, the travel cost, the transportation, or any other ancillary cost will be definitely less. And the most important point is that we can be assured that when it is completed within a week, we can be assured of the full course of anti-rabies vaccination to each and every of our clients. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Really, sir, for your informative talk, sir. We truly appreciate your effort, sir, and information whatever you have given, sir. So last but not least, sir, already you have mentioned, sir, ThRabis within 1 year, sir, has won 2 prestigious prizes, sir. One is the ET Indian Pharma Award, and other is, sir, Golden Globe Tiger Award, sir. Just you have, sir, seen these 2 awards, sir. So it has become possible because your support and help, sir. Sir, especially in Odisha, sir, because of your contribution, your guidance, and your support, sir, this product is really now established, sir, and we have to go much more, sir, away with your blessings, sir. Hello?
Sir, one thing I would like to appreciate. The session was very good session, and almost 153 plus participants we had in the session.
Sir, 153 participants, delegates are there, sir. So really, sir, because of your name, sir, your personality, everything, sir, that matters a lot for all of us, sir. That matters a lot, sir.
Thank you.
So really, sir, once again, sir, thanks very much, sir, from core of my heart, sir, and from entire Cadila, sir. So let's your Lord Jagannath bless all, sir. And sir, thank you once again for joining this webinar, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you. Namaste.
Okay.
Namaste. Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath, sir.